Hey, what's up? Good morning. Sorry. Hey, so what's up? Good morning. Hope you guys are watching the charts. There's only one stock to watch this morning. By the way, if you want to see me on YouTube, I'm on YouTube as well right now. What's up, people? I want to give you a freebie. Just a reminder, this is why I don't buy options ahead of earnings reports, because you just don't know how the stock's going to react. And again, it's only 8:09. The stock's already had three reversals now. So the option buyer yesterday, you're overpaying for options because you're buying into the unknown, and you have to obviously guess what the stock's going to do, which is a guess. Now, yesterday with On Semiconductor was our number one trade. I'm not going to just say of the day. I'm going to say of the year. No, I'm going to say of your life. It was the greatest trade of your life because it showed you how to trade, what we trade, and literally how easy it can be. Right. So here's On Semiconductor from yesterday. Let me show it to you on the charts. And if you guys are watching me, we're already long PayPal. You understand we're long PayPal. I don't got to keep saying it. If you bought it just now, it's 78 and change. You want to sell some here? Sure. I'm hoping it goes to $83 right now on this move. But I'm long and traded in and out of the stock, but I'm long the options, so there's nothing really more I could do except for wait till 9:30. I have options that expire on Friday, so again, I'm not overly concerned because the market never goes down, and most stocks that are gapped down that are decent are getting bought on the dips. So hopefully they grab some PayPal, but I'm going to show you the charts. Hold on a second. But yesterday, like I said, all right, PayPal's we're already in it. So if you're in it, again, if you just bought the $80 break and just want to make a quick payday, here it is. Sell it at 81 and change, and you can go back to sleep. Obviously, Rambus in play too. Rambus about to go green. Usually it's goes red on earnings day. It goes down 5 points. It sucks. I've owned the stock for 2 years. It's basically the same price that I bought it 2 years ago. That's why I'd rather be a trader than an owner or a swinger. And I obviously don't like buying options before earnings reports. Why did I suggest doing it? I made sure everybody know it's a degenerate one-star play. Again, just like Dick's Picks, like Glick's Picks, right? Glick's Picks. When you're a sports gambler, you have plays that you're really confident on. Like I told everybody, wait for Monday Night Football, bet against the Giants. They're just as bad as the Jets. You wait for live betting against the Jets because every once in a while they do show up for about 10 or 15 minutes. They get a lead. Then you bet against the Jets. And the degenerate play of the day was a three-team tease, which we lost. So the better bet is to just stay liquid, trade what we see, and be able to make money instead of lose money by buying options. So why don't you want to buy options again before earnings reports? You're paying $3.50, $4 for an option play that would normally cost you $1.50 because the inherent volatility built into the option. That's how they price options. So today, for instance, if PayPal was to open up down 5 or 6 and we broke VWAP, the same $81 call or $82 call or $83 call that you spent $2 or $3 for yesterday, today will be 20 or 30 cents. And if the stock just rebounds like it's doing right now, now you're talking about a double or triple or quadruple. So let's talk about this On Semiconductor one time before you guys online. This is a trade, and again, I don't need to keep repeating this part, but no losses for the year. None. None. Not one. Not one loss on this setup. So if you don't have a trade that works as well as this, maybe you should start taking this one. I'm assuming eventually one of these is not going to work, and it wasn't yesterday. And so far it wasn't today either. So here's On Semiconductor. Now, why was it? I'm going to say my favorite trade of all time. Let me just shrink this up. I don't know if you guys are watching online. And by the way, now you understand what a short squeeze looks like with the Trump stock. This is why you don't stay short stocks. First rule of shorting stocks is it's short-lived and you're going to die. More importantly, knowing the short squeeze anatomy of a trade, buying Trump at 1250, I'm not saying I'm still in it, but I did say there's no way this thing's not going to 50 if it get back into the 30s. And it consolidated into the 30s. It looked like it was going to roll over. That's the trap, Trump trap. Once it dipped and then didn't roll over, that's the faux show, bro. Anyway, but here's why this On Semiconductor was just perfect yesterday. Let me show it to you. The reason it was perfect, it was that the matrix told you where it was going to go, and then it went back there. So at the beginning of the day, you see knee-jerk reactions to the earnings, right? So the first move was, I don't know if, well, actually I wasn't awake, but the candle, right? The candle was this: bang and bang. Monster candle, the first opening range of the earnings, right? And then you actually got yourself pre-market 1 minute, holds the prior day VWAP, gets over the 1 minute, chance for a nice long trade. And again, that's what I love, the ability to trade in and out of a same stock on both sides. But again, I wasn't looking to buy it yet, but I want to just show you the setup. So because it hit 75 on the nose, and then plummeted down here to what, $70.17. I like hammering stocks that are rolling over. So there's the 1 minute, there's the multi-day, there's the reversal. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal to the downside, right? Then it faux show bros 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal to the upside. That's the trade that I like the most, because you're catching shorts that are shorting because it's breaking new lows, and longs that are using the low of the pre-market as their stop. So it fakes you out, shakes you out. And then even if you didn't have the courage to buy it over here, I got in at $68 and around 65 cents right here. Even if you waited for the VWAP to be tested, pulls back off the VWAP, right? And then it breaks it. That's your new buy. There you go. So 69.74. We were looking at $72 calls, $73 calls, and they were all doubles and triples and quadruples. But that's not the main part of this trade, was that it went back to 80, went back to the 75. And we held the whole time, because when the stock gets over the 1 minute and the multi-day, it likes to revisit prices from where it came from. And that's what I'm hoping to see on this PayPal, because PayPal has already gone from 73, right? Look at this monster fall. And again, let's give it up for Josh Brown. You knew this. You knew they weren't going to just blow out in earnings. Josh Brown likes PayPal, so we already have the mush involved. And again, it's not been a bad trade. We were in from 76. We had some profits in the stock. You made money on the stock yesterday, and every other day that we traded. It's pretty good trading stock. Collapses on the earnings, and here's your first chance to buy. VWAP break on an earnings report that just got smashed. Buy it. So there's $80, and it's breaking VWAP, and the stock tacks on 4. You're done. That's it. That's the trade. So you got a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal this morning on PayPal, right? That's the trade. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. It happened exactly how we wanted it to happen. But you had to be awake to trade it, right? You had to be ready. And there it is. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. It worked. Now you're saying, but Kenny, it went back down. Yes, it went back down. Awesome. You don't let a stock that you're making money on go back down with you still in it. You're selling into the move. That's how you trade, right? So if you're buying something at 80, you're already selling at 81. And then you got to the orange line, it's $83. You're selling. And then the dip holds the VWAP, so you hold on to it. Next thing you know, you get another $1 or $2 out of it. You're selling. And then it rolls over, and then it breaks VWAP. So those last lots that you were hoping to go to 87, you're a seller here, just like everybody else. And then for the person that was just thinking, hey, I missed all this beautiful upside, maybe I'll short PayPal, right in Kenny's fotch, 81.25, got you 78. That's a trade in itself. I didn't do that. But what I just did was look at this consolidation. Look at the consolidation, forms the range. So then it comes out of the range. That's me, $78.91 right here, coming out of the range. And I'm just going to use the bottom of the range as my out. So every trade you do is defined. If I'm wrong, I'm losing $1. But if I'm right, I'm making $4. But what are you doing if you bought something at 79? Let's just call it 79. Well, you already sold. If you bought 400 shares, you're selling 100 at 80. You're selling 100 at 81. Now you can't lose the money unless you let it go breaking back below the VWAP, breaking back below the 79. And why would you do that? You wouldn't. So now you're just sitting here going, Oh, I hope it doesn't break back under that blue line. Neither do I, right? So all you could do is say, hey, now I sit and wait, but you've taken 200 shares off the table with profit. And if you sell the other 200 when it breaks VWAP, you're still locking into a 31-cent trade because you're in from the 80 original break of the VWAP. But the better you get at this, you'll be buying it down here at 79 because it's coming out of the range first, then the retracement to the VWAP, then the VWAP break. And hopefully we don't have to contend with it going down and rolling over. But chances are it is. This is a pretty volatile name so far. But if all works out, maybe we dump the stock. And again, I'm in the options. I can't do anything about the options now except short the stock against the calls that I'm owning. But the stock needs to be above where my call prices are to lock into a profit. Right now, it's a loss. Once again, this is why I don't trade options going into earnings reports. I paid $375 for an 83. So my cost average on the stock is $86.75, and I sold $97 calls just to take something off the table at a quarter and 35. So let's call it 350. So I'm in $83. What am I in? The 83s, 84s, what, it doesn't even matter. Bottom line is you bet against the Giants, you bet against the Jets. And if you were going to bet, you use that money to bet it on the PayPal. For all I know is the stock ends at 97 on Friday and everything's awesome. But what this trade, what all this activity in the pre-market, you just paid for the trade like we did yesterday, like we did the day before. You want to use market money if you're going to gamble. And how do you get market money? Take the trade that never fails. It never fails. So far, it hasn't failed yet. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, VWAP breaks on earnings reports. It's just phenomenal. And there's really not much else to do. And again, this is why when I suggest buying an option into an earnings report, it's not a fear of missing out. I just thought they might blow out numbers and they might gap to 87 and not give us a chance to get in. So I bought a couple options just in case that happened to profit on it. But already this move pays for the option play. So if the option play turns out to be a complete zero, and again, we got 4 days for something good to happen. We just needed to go back to basically 86. You're telling me the stock can't be at $92 by the end of the day? Have you seen the stock market we're in? So if it stays above VWAP and gets above this orange line and you see PayPal above, if you see PayPal above 84.84 today, and by the way, you want to see some sucker moves? Here's some sucker moves for you. Somebody upgraded the stock at the close yesterday. You see how the blatant manipulation of the market happens? They upgrade the stock, it rips to 86. So that dude could get out yesterday ahead of the earnings because they knew what was going to happen. 86 right to the end of the night. They get their friend short and out of the stock. Next thing you know, they crush it and they do it all over again. It's one big circle jerk of manipulation and rigging. And right now, hopefully the rigging is working out here because if this turns now, we're looking for 82.65. And if you ask me if you should be in this name still, of course you should still be in it. It's above VWAP, consolidating above VWAP. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I know what I'm expecting, 82.65 or the next big red candle. I'm selling it, at $80 and a quarter. There's no in between. It's either 80 and a quarter or I'm holding. And every trade is exactly the same. Why am I buying it here? What's my risk? And what do I think is going to happen right around VWAP and price ranges? And every trade is exactly the same. Every trade is the same. Every day is the same. Every day is the same. Every trade is the same. The market never goes down. Every day is exactly the same. It's over and over and over again. I drink the same stuff. I eat the same stuff. I am a robot. And that's the only way to fight. And by the way, I hope you guys have been voting. And if you guys want any proof that I voted for myself, I voted for myself. No diggity doubt. So if you guys are debating who to vote for and you're confused, it's pretty simple. Just hit the button, type my name, and bang. I know at least 20 people that are voting for me. And not just for senator, president. All right. but we'll get to that some other time. We'll talk more about that some other time. But there's definitely at least 10 votes for Glick. So if you're still out there, don't be a dick, vote Glick. So take a look at the Trump stock. Now, to me, it's just an indication that he's going to win the presidency. But it's more than that. It's a worthless stock, right? That got hyped up and squeezed. This thing was $12.50 just 10 days ago, 15 days ago at best. And that's where you want to buy stock. It's not about companies. It's not what you think the stock's going to be 3 months from now. Who cares? It's going to go either to 80 and then 120, or it's going to roll over and go back to 12.50. They don't make money. They're not a real company. They already sit on the prospectus that they don't even care about that Truth Social. It's more of a side project. They have whatever they said. But none of that matters when the squeeze begins, right? I thought getting back to $33 would be easy because that's what generally happens when you make these dramatic turns and the stock gets squeezed. We were buying it down at $12.50, happy that it went to 15 that day. Anyway, inevitably this will be another short. It's rallied now from $12.50 to $57 without pretty much, except for that one day where I was shorting it live on a show, which was pretty awesome that it got halted on the downside. So even during this monstrous move, there was a 10-point sell-off right there, blow off top. And again, what you learned about trading that day was blow off tops when the top gets blown. When the top gets blown again, yeah, because that happens. Doesn't happen too often, right? Blow off top, candle, engulfing red candle, consolidation. You blow the top off, what you thought was the top, you buy. And look at this, attacked on another 20 points so far. And I got to tell you, it's just, it's the same day over and over and over and over again. It really is. And it's awesome, right? As long as you, and if you're by the way, if you're hanging in the chat room, and by the way, I heard back from people that come to the chat room and might not understand what's going on with some people. All I want to hear is what your experience was, because I'd like to make your experience the greatest experience ever. It's you're basically coming into a trading pit. It's what it is, and I'm trying to demonstrate these trades over and over again. Some people get it. Some people realize that what seems like me talking fast inevitably becomes, man, this is the same day over and over again. But I heard back from somebody, and it was completely different. The reason that they didn't want to stay, they were having trouble logging in one morning, and that frustrated them, and that was it. Hey, man, I feel you, bro. That technical bullshit pisses me off, also. But give it another shot, because I think it might have been as easy that we're running on a stream, so you actually have to, when the screen refreshes, sometimes you got to hit play. And I know it sounds silly, but that could have been the problem. You just had to hit play again. But hopefully I see you again in the room. Been kicking ass. Was there all day yesterday. Caught the crazy biotech today. The crazy biotech is SHPH is one of them. And we've been on these things. The other day I think it was glue. That OKLO was flying again yesterday. Caught a couple of points in that. And really, it's just, you sit and wait. Speaking of the Qs, you could just sit around and wait for the Qs to go up. That's been a trade, as always. They kind of ran out of steam at 500, but they're just going to consolidate and break. You'll probably get a 10% rally into the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised to see Qs at 550, no joke. But none of that really matters right now. PayPal is what matters to me. And hopefully this consolidation leads to a breakout. But I wouldn't mind if it just sits here for the next hour above VWAP and gives me, I'd rather buy it a dip. If it goes back under 80, holds down here, then those options I paid $3.75 for, I'm going to buy them at 30 cents this morning. And then if it rallies back and they go back to $2, I'll turn a losing trade into a winning trade. And if by some chance, and again, now I'll call it a miracle because this stuff never usually works out for me when I hope for something. So I'll just assume it's not going to happen. If PayPal is above 84.84, it's going to be 87.50 at least. I don't think you're going to see it because it's me. I have, I am the mush. But when I could trade here, again, this is good enough for me right now. And if it breaks down right now, you might be hitting the bid and sold to you 80.50, 80.50. Nope, didn't get it. 80.37, 80.40, and you're out. And that's it. Now we're liquid again. So if it comes back all the way to 78, if it comes back to this bottom range, yeah, PayPal back into that range where it just broke out from. When the options open up, the 80s are going to be dirt cheap. So if you're going to trade options on it, you want it to go back down. I'd rather see it hold to 77.50 again, because if it breaks here, it's going to give way all the way back down to 75.50. And then chances of it going back to 85 will get a little bit more slim. But it's still being bought here. There's big size on the offer. They're still buying PayPal. By the way, Sophie came out with earnings also that got back above 11.50. And again, here, 1 minute multi-day collision right there. It's already chopped back down. This stock notoriously gives back any gains. So, but if it holds the orange line, chops around between the orange and the blue, chances are you're going to be buying it. So that's my story. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the room. If you haven't taken a whirl with us, do it. See ya.